leather gloves, we're slapping in hams, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer, that circle the lips, play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
All right. One of the kids was coming on again and do a little. Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
Here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful
downtown Massapequa,
New York, right by the Long Island Railroad. There's a pizzeria. There's a nail place that we're going to go to do our nails one day.
CBS. We should do the nails.
We've been talking about this. Did you
I've
ever
never had a manicure.
Forget about the manicure. Pedicure is the thing to do. Because they play with the footsies and they give you all the massage.
Yeah.
I think I remember once. Why do I remember asking you this? You don't have calluses on the bottom of your feet?
Oh, yeah, you did last week. No, I don't. My feet are very smooth.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see.
Because
I got some calluses on my feet, and they always give a scrub.
How do you get that?
I guess it's doing, you sleep a lot, I think, is the problem.
I remember my mother had thick skin at the bottom of her
But from what I
feet,
understand, you don't do a lot during the day. Maybe that's what it is. Your feet don't get used.
I'm well rested.
It's like every time I call you, you're like, I'm still in bed.
Yeah, I have to walk to the deli. That's my walk.
What I texted you at 9 one day, like, let's go, let's get ready, let's do it. And you said, I just got up to pee.
That's true.
I'm going back to sleep. It's all right.
Call me after 11:30. No, but I'm up a lot earlier now. Like now I'm 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
I'm like at 7 a.m. 7 a.m., 6:30.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the day.
You know what? I have to admit, when I do have to get up early and I'm out there, I enjoy it.
You do?
Yeah. Like today I had to drive my kid to school because he missed the bus.
All right.
And
How old is
he's like,
your kid? 21?
He's 17, but like he comes back in the house because he missed the bus and he's like petrified to disturb me. He's like, I have to go to school. I go, you shouldn't have missed the bus.
Should I go to school or
wake him up?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today, and I shouldn't even bring it up again because it's over a week old now. I'm still thinking about that chicken parm and how much they gave us. Now this is a bit I'm bringing up again.
Yeah, they gave us a lot of chicken.
That's how much chicken parm was there.
But
the 2 shows in a row.
I don't want to knock it, but the top layer had cheese, not the middle.
Okay, so if we split it,
it should have been separated and all cheesy.
So if we split it, I'll take the top piece and I'll give you the bottom piece.
Yes,
but no cheese.
No, we're gonna have them spread it out and cheese the whole thing. We could split one.
That's only fair. Yeah. I came home. My dad had hip surgery, by the way, on Monday. So I drove up to Eastern Pennsylvania, near Bethlehem, up there. What a difference! A beautiful hospital.
Yeah.
People were all so nice, and I'm in the pre-op room, and one of the nurses says, "Oh yeah, a little busy today. Sorry, we didn't get back to you." Like I asked her a question like 5 minutes ago, and I said, "This is not busy. This is not busy. It was beautiful. I'm going to have my hip surgery up there. And I don't even need hip surgery. I'm going to have some.
Your dad was like the only patient.
When I go like this, it's like I'm trying to throw out a punch. I'm trying to force it. Did you see that punch line?
I saw it.
And I don't even need hip surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you said to me? I watched our show back, by the way, mister.
Yeah.
And I have a little bone to pick with you.
What did I say?
I watch the show sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm really have a moment on the show, 5 minutes, where I'm really not that good.
Right.
And I always notice
hard to believe, but
it when we go to breaks at those shows, I remember at times you go, you're really getting good at this. Now I realize
it's a compliment.
You're pulling my leg.
No, you are. You're
when
getting
I struggle,
good at it.
And then we pause, you go, well, he was really terrible.
I'm going to further compliment you.
Oh,
you are getting very, very good as a solo host.
I am never solo.
You don't even need me here.
I am not solo. I'm with Rich Walker.
I sit here like this, going,
I apologize.
Should I chime in? No,
I have a problem with silence. I do.
Yeah.
Even on stage,
yeah.
I'm terrible with I watch some comics and they really work that pause. It's so beautiful to work that pause, and most of my jokes have no laughs. So you think I would have.
I once that reminds me, you're saying this, and just to show you the power of silence.
The power.
I was once watching Everybody Loves Raymond, and the brother, Robert.
Everybody knows, yeah.
Robert, right? And Robert had an interview with the FBI, and the mother burned his pants.
Okay.
Burned his jacket.
Okay.
His lucky jacket.
Right.
So when he showed up at the FBI for the interview, the interviewer says, "It's your mother called us this morning."
Okay.
And it must have been 3 or 4 minutes. You just see Robert's face like this, like dead silence. It was hysterical.
Well, it could have been 3 or 4 minutes.
It was long,
but
but the audience was screaming through the whole thing.
But it's got to be the right joke.
Oh, look at our sponsor right there. Yes.
Tonight's show, thank you, Bobby and Butch, is brought to you by Barasch and McGarry.
Yep.
Lawyers for the 9/11
community. Yes.
The
best.
Yes, thank you. That's the way to do it. See how they did that? Butch didn't come on and say you're idiots. Right. He called Bobby and said they're idiots, put it up, but he didn't say it to us.
Right.
Which we appreciate, Butch, because
we avoided it, but yet you brought it up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I think you missed Bobby
You
missed Butch coming in on that.
Butch didn't come in, which we appreciate because we think Butch comes on maybe a little too much. We always tell him, right?
Yeah.
So now he's only going to come on 4 times this show instead of the 5.
People do write in that they miss Butch when he doesn't appear.
People being Butch.
Yeah.
Butch and his sweetheart write in and say we'd like to see more Butch.
More Butch.
And then he gets new names. What Butch does is he develops other names and he writes in, "Hey, we miss Butch."
Well, he has computers in every room in the house and he runs around and
right now, we can see him. The audience can. Yeah. Right now, he is hurting himself not coming in. Right? He's sitting there going,
he
"I want to say."
Right? Like he's
don't
there.
Don't tease him. So
he's tempted.
Here's what happened before my dad's surgery.
Yes.
Okay. My dad is scared, obviously, and I hate when people go, "Don't worry about it, John. It's going to be nothing."
Right.
He's scared. You have to acknowledge.
Leave it to the professionals.
Well, you have to acknowledge that. And everybody's saying to him, "Don't worry." I said, "Dad, this could be it. I hope it goes well." I really made him feel better.
That's right. Yes.
I said, "You may not come out of this." That's wrong things to say, right? Wrong things to say.
Well, you're being honest. And
so he says to me before going into surgery, you never know what could happen in surgery. Maybe the last time I ever speak to him. Maybe. God forbid. No, I'm just saying.
Does he watch this show?
He might be. He might be. But let's be real. Anybody going into surgery, right? You never know what could happen. He looks at me and says, "You know what? You should be doing more stomach exercises." All right, Dad. And I stopped him. I go, "Nurse, did you hear did you see me tucking his blanket in? Yeah. Did you see me getting him water? Did you hear what he just said to me?" And they were cracking up, and he was telling jokes all the way in. And he's doing great. Doing great. Already started his physical therapy, going up and down stairs or whatever. Awesome. 88 hip replacement.
Look at him.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. Yeah.
He's ready to go.
So 2 weeks ago, my wife's father passes away. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
We're in hospice.
Right.
And she goes to talk to him about it's okay to cross over or go on the other side. She goes, "We're all going to meet. The whole family's going to meet on the other side.
Right.
My mom's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there." And she goes, "Right, Richie?" And I go, "I think I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to be there."
Right.
I want maybe expand my horizons at that point. Is that the wrong thing to say?
That's the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
And you know what else I noticed, by the way, being the ADHD person that I am?
Yes.
And now Butch didn't bring this up. Bobby don't even think watches the show back there. Do you think Bobby watches it? He's the owner of the place, the engineer.
From the sound of it, I don't think
he's on the phone the whole time. Or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm watching the show from last week, and I was like this for at least 15 minutes when the guest was on.
Right.
Right? Nobody said anything. Look at how ridiculous this looks. Nobody said anything. Not even you.
Not really?
Yeah, didn't that look ridiculous?
Wow, yeah, it did.
So I'm glad I watched that back. We're going to York, Pennsylvania. The show is booked. I don't know if Richie's coming yet. He's got to check his calendar.
Date?
I think it's April 27th. We'll talk about it later. It's going to be a great show. I worked on this show for a while.
Yes.
I taught a class out there, and then I hooked up with the commissioner of 911 out there. We're going to be doing a show for a charity that supports mental wellness. Nice. In fact, what am I talking about? one of the guys from the charity is our guest tonight. Bruce Barasch is
Wow. Yes.
So we're going to talk about it. We're really excited to go out to York in memory of my guys that were lost on 9/11. And because of 9/11, we're going to York. We're going to raise some money for that charity. We're going to make people laugh in their name. It's going to be a ball. We're also going to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base again. We were there 6 years ago.
That sounds.
They want us back. They want John Santo is dying to go to the base.
Yeah.
Dying.
He's never done this.
No, Butch and I are going to string him along for a while. You know that he's not going because we want to bust his colognes. We got that.
He watches.
We booked already. Also today at the Loft in Belmore, another show for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Association.
Yes.
We're excited to do that show. So it's gonna be. We're really booking stuff.
Come out for a lot of laughs on these, right? The Loft. What date is that?
That show you're probably not going to be on. So I'm not going to give you. No, you might be on. You might be on. Are we early to go to a break? I don't think we are.
Let's keep
because we can talk more, but we want to make sure we get our guests. Let me ask one more important thing.
Yeah.
Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Do you believe less is more? No, I do because I'm lazy. I don't want to put up a lot of lights.
Well, I just watched that great.
Oh, that's crazy.
Bright show. They were nuts.
What's going up with that?
I have lights. I just finished putting them up today outside the house.
I put my lights up.
I cover 2 bushes and I'm done.
I just throw them, and they look like they were just thrown on.
Yeah.
It's the festive. It's nice. It's what. But they don't look good, my lights, ever.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I covered all I wanted to cover.
Is that why we have a dead tree on the set?
Where's a dead tree?
That's a Charlie Brown tree.
This is a beautiful decoration of my wife's. The 2 of these, they cost $160.
His wife made those.
Well, that's because Paula bought them.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Very nice tree. Very nice.
Watching Butch.
As a matter of fact, that is his
nice tree.
Yeah, that is my tree. That is. But we bought a real tree.
I have a quick question. I got a real tree. When you get the tree home, are you supposed to cut the bottom off?
You let the kids do it at the place.
Oh.
It's
not drinking any water, my tree. It's like the same amount of water I put in a week ago.
Oh, that's not good.
Really?
That's not good.
I'm going to take
Get
it
another
out,
tree. Get another tree.
Tomorrow.
We're going to go to break if Bobby's paying attention. I think he is. He's back there. Look, he's on the ball. We'll be back in a few minutes with our first guest.
Tree.
Who's our first guest? It is Jimmy Johnson. I think he's a coach.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And we're back. I just wanted to show you one more thing.
Yeah, we're going to go to a break.
No.
Oh, not now?
Not right
Oh, okay.
We had that whole discussion. We're going to do better going to breaks. So this is the Friends of Firefighters annual gala. Beautiful. They do wonderful work. They've been in business now 20 years in business. Their foundation.
Fantastic.
And we donate money to them. Laughter Saves Lives. Look at the beautiful page that we bought in the book, right? You see that? Laughter Saves Lives, a full page. And here's what it says. And I want to see if Richie could do better because we did this the last few years. Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, our logo on top. Laughter Saves Lives will continue to support the wonderful work of Friends of Firefighters through laughter and then in small print, all right, and a few bucks too. Good, right?
Yeah.
John LaRocchia, president, founder, retired, Hazmat 1, lot of 12.
And when they put a few bucks, it's accurate.
Yes. All right, let's go to our first guest. Do you want to bring him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't have
You do, because, that was, you threw
he
me
is
off.
with, I should be organized here. He is with oh, geez. What did I do here? Stop, wait, don't, let me figure this out here. He's with, let's bring Jimmy on. Let's bring Jimmy Johnson on. I'm going to scoop the name of the organization because I didn't write it down here. Jimmy Johnson. Let's bring our first guest, Jimmy Johnson. All right. Sorry, Jimmy.
That's okay.
What is the name of the police organization?
Brotherhood for the Fallen.
That's right. And I looked at your website today. Thank you so much for doing the show. You're in Long Island right now, correct?
Yes, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm a Suffolk County police officer, correct.
Okay. Now your organization is, but it's not just Suffolk, right? It's
correct. So it was founded by the Chicago Police Department, a gentleman by the name of Rick Caballero. He founded the organization around 2010 in Chicago, and since then it's branched out across the country. We're one of about 9 chapters right now.
And your chapter covers what area?
So we cover all of law enforcement in Suffolk County. As long as you're a sworn member of law enforcement within the confines of Suffolk County, you can join our organization. The bulk of our organization is comprised of members from the Suffolk County Police Department, but we include all of the villages, the towns, the Sheriff's Department, park rangers, you name it. Anybody who's within the confines of Suffolk, that's law enforcement, can join our organization.
Now, do you also, does NYPD have their own?
Yep. So NYPD has their own chapter, and we've been in recent talks with Commissioner Ryder in Nassau County and some of his officers. Nassau is going to be standing up a chapter pretty soon, hopefully.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
So, so your main, I don't want to say job, the main work that you do, which is amazing work, coming from somebody that was a responder. People don't realize how important this is. You will go in your dress blues anywhere in the country where a police officer is lost. Am I saying that correctly?
Correct. So basically anywhere a police officer anywhere in the United States is violently killed in the line of duty, we'll send uniformed officers to attend the funeral from each chapter. And upon arrival, we'll also give the member's family a monetary donation because, I mean, you gentlemen probably know, but a lot of people in the country don't realize death benefits are on a spectrum. Some don't get any at all. Some get very few. We're very fortunate here on Long Island that we're on the higher end of the spectrum and our families are usually taken care of. That's not the same across the country. And the other issue is the death benefits don't kick in immediately. So if you're the sole breadwinner in your family and you're shot and killed in the line of duty, who's paying the electric bill? Who's paying the water bill? Who's paying the school tuition? It's going to take months for that to kick in from insurance companies and from death benefits from your department. So if each of our chapters shows up at the funeral and provides a monetary donation, that gets them over the hump for the first couple of weeks and months. It's very important.
That's great.
Yeah, no, very important because they need something tomorrow. They need the shop tomorrow.
Correct.
They have a car payment coming in. Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely. How many members of your department belong to the organization and how many go to a funeral?
So in Suffolk County, we have approximately 2,500 members across the county. That's Suffolk County Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, towns, villages. So total, we have about 2,500 members. Every time that there's a funeral, the way we do it is we actually put out a notification through text and email. And our first volunteer that responds that hasn't previously traveled, they'll choose another volunteer or a friend to go with, and we send at least 2. Depending on the size and the scope of the funeral, sometimes we'll send 4 or more. If it's like a sister chapter, like God forbid somebody from Chicago or NYPD is a different story because basically the whole Suffolk County Police Department, rightfully so, shows up to that. But if Fort Worth, Texas, let's say for instance, or one of the other sister chapters, we'll try to send 4 to 6. So minimum of 2, sometimes more.
Yeah, it's amazing. The brotherhood. There's no other jobs like it. Police, fire, EMS, where you can go anywhere in the country and feel welcome. I was teaching I'm almost sure it was in California, and while we were out there, a police officer was shot at a traffic stop. It might have been 2 days before, because we were teaching in the same building the morgue was.
Wow.
And they brought the body to that morgue, and before we were there, but it left while we were teaching the class. And it's one of the most emotional things that I remember in my career, because I'm working for Homeland Security at the time. I don't have my uniform with me, whatever. We stopped the class, and as they brought the body out of the morgue, the street was lined, as you know, with police officers and firefighters or whatever. Yep. And they allowed us to join them on the sidewalk. And I felt I was so honored that they allowed.
I get chills just thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so honored. We weren't in uniform. We had a nice golf shirt on it at LSU and Dockers, but yeah, it's a very emotional feeling. But to go to a funeral of a police officer, a firefighter, or EMS, they really do a beautiful job setting them off.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, not to degrade or take away from other people's professions. Everybody's got a place in this world, but there is something unique about being a first responder in that I would consider it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. So those positions, you're never really off. Even when you're off, you're always thinking about what you did the day before. Could I have done that differently? Your phone's always constantly blowing up with different things from, different colleagues. It's not your, conventional, 9 to 5, and like, again, nothing to take away from people that do that, but it's a lifestyle. It's something that always stays with you. And I think that's why it's so important that we embark upon this sort of organization and this sort of mission, because, when we lose somebody, it doesn't matter what patch they wear, what color uniform they wear, they're part of an organization that's bigger than itself. It's a lifestyle, and we all share that across the country. And especially nowadays, unfortunately, with the media and some of the politicians and some other folks, we're not the most popular organizations out there. And more now than ever, it's very important that we take care of one another's families, because we're not getting some of the support that, like during 9/11, for instance, that we once enjoyed. We don't really have that right now, and hopefully it swings back the other way, and we'll get that again. But right now, more than ever, it's more important that we stick together as a family.
Like the brotherhood is so strong. I mean, we're comedians, and I mean, if a comedian shows up, you're like, what's he doing here? It's like the other end of the spectrum. And
I try my best, because I know the feeling of having, hey, I'm moving next week. I'll have some beer and pizza, and you have like 15 guys show up to move you. It's unbelievable. But what you do, and I just from reading, and it reminded me, not only are you giving a financial donation to help them, and not only are you present, but when the fellow police officers that lost their brother see that patch from Suffolk County, from NYPD, that you traveled to come out there and support them, it means so much. I mean, even in the FDNY, when I saw at funerals, I saw patches from all over the country. You walk over and you hug those guys. You say, hey, thanks so much, because it was a big trip for them.
It's huge. Yeah, it's definitely something, I've personally attended, dozens of funerals across the country. One in particular sticks out. A number of years ago, a police officer by the name of Colin Rose was shot and killed in the line of duty from Wayne State University in Michigan. And I was having trouble filling that particular funeral. It was close to the holidays. It was wintertime. It was tough. So I ended up going. And the difference that I tell people is, like, if you go to a New York funeral, for the most part, because of space constrictions, most of the officers are kind of outside in a formation, and you're not really inside hearing the service in the church or that kind of thing. In other parts of the country, it's totally different. So I was actually invited in to sit like a row behind his family. And I had never met this guy, a day in my life. And myself and the other members from the other chapters across the country, we're standing there, and the look on his family's face, just staring at those patches, they were floored. And I got choked up just sitting there and actually being a part of the service and seeing the impact that this individual had on so many lives. It's like life altering. It's amazing. And that's what I tell, new cops that come on the job when we try to get them to join. I say, when you go to a funeral in another part of the country, it's not like you're standing outside in the formation here in New York, where it's a little more impersonal. Unfortunately, you're being invited into these venues to meet the family directly, and you'll never forget that as long as you live.
Two things. I'm sorry, Rich. You want to say two things? Melissa Ielpi just said it means more than you know. Melissa,
more than you could ever, than most can ever understand. Which is so
thank
true.
You, Rich. There it is.
Unless you're living it.
It means more than most can understand. Melissa's brother was lost on 9/11, John Ielpi, who I worked with. So Melissa can speak firsthand about that. I mean, I lost family because I lost guys I worked with, but the families felt that presence from all over the country. And when I taught around the country, I always got in front of a class and I said, listen, thank you for anything you did after 9/11.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Funeral, we felt it. The other thing, a great story that I have is I went away on 9/11, like 6 or 7 years. I just didn't want to be in New York that particular year, and I taught a class. And was teaching a 5-day class, and I told the guys, I don't think I can go to class on the 11th. I'm going to go to church. So they said, we got you covered. Went to church for an hour, prayed for my guys, called them to pick me up. I'm good. When I came back to the class, this little fire department in the middle of nowhere were lined with their dress blues in front of them, waiting for the FDNY firefighter.
Wow.
I was the way they were going to honor, the FDNY that year. And I said to myself, God put me here for a reason this year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I needed to do that. For me, it was a little uncomfortable, but I was like, wow, I'm in the right place this year. So.
Yeah, and even seeing things like that, it's kind of like a booster shot, when our morale's a little bit down. The tragedy that happens at these funerals, the silver lining to them is it brings the community closer together, and you get to meet officers and families from other parts of the country that you otherwise would not have ever encountered. And it kind of gives you a little push, like when you're kind of down in the dumps, especially nowadays, doing first responder type work. It makes you realize why you're in it and what you're doing it for. So if there's anything positive that can come out of these lost officers that are violently killed in the line of duty, it's that their loss. One, it's never in vain, and two, it brings the community tighter together, and it really shows a support structure for the families, so that people can have solace that when you go out there and you do this job, God forbid anything happens to you, your family's going to be taken care of, and that's huge.
Now, Jimmy, we at Laughter Saves Lives choose to remember our guys through laughter, because as you know, these police officers that were lost, and some police officers that were lost. Mm-hmm. Not only did they have families, but they made us laugh. A lot of these guys were funny.
Yep.
So that's how we choose to remember them, by raising money for cool organizations. And like I said, a lot of the organizations that are on like yours, we'd love to work with you on a comedy show. Raise money to cover these costs for these cops to travel to do these funerals. So
that'd be great. Yeah, it gets, like you can imagine, it gets pretty expensive. We do a bunch of fundraisers a year. We do membership dues, things like that. But yeah, absolutely, we'd love that. Like I said, we're one chapter of many. Rattle them off real quick. We got Chicago is the one that started it. You have Aurora, Colorado. You have the NYPD. You have Boston, Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, the whole state of Arkansas, South Carolina. We've got Nassau is going to be coming on board. I hope I didn't miss anybody. But we're like a tight little group of chapters, and we're always looking to expand. So any just getting the word out to other departments and other states, that would be great.
Well, we'll start with a donation tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
But don't let me forget, because we'll start with a donation. We don't have a whole lot of money.
I appreciate that.
We'll start with donation, and then let's talk about doing a show. You're in Suffolk. We're right here.
You're right here, yeah.
The comics love to have some stage time, so it helps everybody. We try to put a newer comic on the show to give him stage time in front of a great audience. The guy we have here tonight who's closing the show, if you can hang out.
Sure.
If you like him, we'll put him on the show. If you don't, we'll tell him to give up the business.
Where do you guys usually do it? You go to Governor's? You go...
We'll do that. We could do it at a fire department.
We could do it at a VFW hall.
Okay.
Knights of
We'll figure that
Columbus,
out.
American Legion, any of these places. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go to break. We have another guest coming on. Thank you.
Can we, just before we go to break, Jimmy, can you give the website for us?
Yes.
Yeah, so for our particular chapter, it's brotherhoodforthefallen.suffolkcounty.org. So if you just do a Google search and type in Brotherhood for the Fallen, Suffolk County, it'll pop up. Brotherhood for the Fallen, SuffolkCounty.org is us. But if you type in Brotherhood for the Fallen, you'll actually hit all the different chapters. There's, like I said, Chicago NYPD, the Texas guys, everybody.
We're looking forward to work with you. You do great work. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Jimmy Johnson from Brotherhood for the Fallen. I didn't write down the name in the beginning. I'm sorry. I did look at the website, though. I did do my research. Yes. Let's go to break, and we'll be right back with our next guest, which is Bruce Bartz.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Rossi.
And I'm Arthur Lee, the creator of LifeVac.
We're here today to announce that to date, LifeVac has saved hundreds of lives of people who almost died due to choking.
People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those lives is a child. That's why I created LifeVac.
And as a new mom, and from housewife to housewife, I felt compelled to share with you the discovery of this life-saving device.
LifeVac is a simple-to-use airway clearance device. Just place, push, and pull to save a life.
And it costs less than it would take to fill up your car with a tank of gas. Imagine being able to save a life for less than $70.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
That's LIFEVAC.net.
Please don't allow one of your loved ones to become the victim of a choking accident.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, we're back with Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television, Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York. We're bringing on our next guest from the Bartz Foundation, the Bruce Bartz Foundation, and his name is, just by coincidence, Bruce Bartz.
Unbelievable.
Way, what a coincidence.
There he is.
I guess you had to join that foundation. You had the same name.
Pretty much, yeah. It was
good.
That's not quite the name of the foundation, but it does contain the Bartz part of it. The actual name of it's Bartz Brigade.
Bartz Brigade. Listen, as you see, Bruce, I'm not very good at naming organizations here. I'm having an 0 for 2 night. All right. So I apologize.
The website is bartzbrigade.com.
Yeah, very easy to remember. So. And the other part of the name of the foundation is the Trent Bartz Foundation, and Trent's my son's name.
Yeah.
So we kind of named it after him.
Tell us about your son.
Oh, come into the room, he'd light up the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love sports. He was always that guy who got the hardest effort trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was always the one. He wasn't a very good athlete, but really loved it. He was in second grade is when the towers went down.
Right.
And I'll never forget this. He came home afterwards. He said, "Dad, somebody knocked down my towers. I'll get even." And from there, he joined the military. Was in the 203rd Military Intelligence Battalion stationed out of Aberdeen, Maryland. And I don't know if I can say this or not, but I'm going to anyhow. He wanted to rid this country of terrorists. He did not like terrorists.
Well,
so
that's fantastic.
My connection here with law enforcement, I'm a retired police officer. I was on the job for 27 years.
Thank you for your service.
Yep, thank you. Here in York, Pennsylvania. And I actually now work for the county in the mental health department. We have what's called co-responders, which are mental health clinicians.
Yeah,
that are working side by side with police officers. Like Jimmy was saying earlier, the relationship between some of the people and police officers and stuff like that right now is not the greatest. For lack of a better term, it's just not that good, and especially in the mental health community, it's just not that great. So, but it's a great program. We do a lot of training with police officers, first responders to learn how to deal with people with serious mental health issues.
Well, the good part, though, is that you have that PD background. So even though you're not in uniform, you still have that feel for that side of it.
Absolutely. You know, the positions of a co-responder here in New York County, they're not, it's not a one size fits all program. You know, we tailor that person, that co-responder that goes into the police department as an individual. I mean, just this person here might not work at the next police department because of different policies and procedures and just different personalities. And it's really, it's mobile crisis, but still crisis within the community.
Yeah.
Right. If that makes sense.
Great idea. Tell us a little bit about the work you do with the foundation.
All right. So I lost my son 7 years ago to suicide.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I made up my mind that I never want another parent to feel how I feel, you know, and I've attended funerals of police officers, first responders that have died by suicide, and others.
Too many, right?
It's something that suicide is preventable.
Right.
So I made up my mind that you know, we're going to start raising money and we're going to help whomever with whatever tools they need to for their mental health. You know, I said my son he really loved sports. He loved to play football. Wasn't always the best, but towards the end there, he started to get himself in just great physical shape. He competed in 2 best warrior competitions while he was in the service at brigade level. One year he took 3rd, and the next year he took 2nd. And of course, part of that best warrior competition is a lot of physical fitness and stuff like that. And they do. We have a signature event that we do every year. It's called a ruck. I'm sure you guys know what a ruck is.
No.
And you don't? A ruck.
No.
It's what those guys carry out in the field. They're rucksacks.
Oh.
Yeah. So in 2015, when Trent died, there was an average of 22 veterans a day that died by suicide. So we started doing workouts. He had a hero workout named after him. And then we started doing rucks, which was we'd put 22 pounds in our rucks. We'd walk 22 miles with 22 athletes, and every mile we stop and do 22 push-ups.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of grueling. We did it 2 years ago, and then we did it again this year. Our goal was to raise $22,000, and we didn't quite hit it. We raised $33,000.
And you hit it.
Wow.
You hit it.
So
now you say, did you do this yourself?
Well, I actually did. I was one of the 22 that did it this year. Wow. Yeah. So I'm old school when it comes to being a cop. I'm from way back in the day. I was the guy who sat at the donut shop. You know, I was not much of an athlete when it came to that kind of stuff. I was the one who would eat the donuts.
Right.
But
you know, Richie, you should be a police officer because you eat a lot of donuts too.
A lot.
You know, 22, in fact.
I just had one now.
guys.
Look, I just had one 2 seconds ago before we went on the air.
So now
22 a day, right?
really cool because when I started this comedy touring foundation, these are the kind of shows that I dreamed about doing. Bring in Long Island comics, friends of mine, on the road a little bit and go in the community and making a little bit of a difference in memory of my guys. We're going to have a great time down there doing this show.
I'm extremely excited about it. You know, our community is just we're really working on mental health. You know,
Right.
we don't just we work on mental health with the military. We work with school age kids a lot too, and also police officers. One of the things that we do with the foundation, with the money we raised this year, we did $16,000 in college scholarships for high school seniors.
That's fantastic. That's great.
And actually in the community, we're right over, just a little bit over $35,000 that we've allocated back into the community in 2022.
Awesome.
So I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, when it comes to lost survivors, we don't get to laugh that much.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're right. And it's important. Like I always said, it's sad. We lost so many guys on 9/11. So sad, obviously. But those guys made me laugh. You know, a lot of those guys. And what a great way to remember them. Because that's how I would have wanted to be remembered. go out there, watch your families laugh, the wives, the kids. So we're so honored that you're allowing us to come out to participate in this. You think we'll fill that theater? That's a big theater.
Absolutely. We're going to fill it. I'm no thinking about it. We're going to do it.
All right.
Wow. You know what we should do though? If Richie's going to come, maybe you don't put any links up so they could look at your set, your comedy.
Yeah, I won't let them see my act.
We'll just tell them how funny it's going to be, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a ball.
Right.
Any websites or anything you want to give out?
Yeah, we're on Facebook at Bart's Brigade, Instagram, and our webpage is bartsbrigade.com.
Yeah.
Like I said, really looking forward to this event. And then right around the corner is Mental Health Month. So, we're going to be doing a lot of different events here in New York as far as just raising awareness. When it comes to mental health and it comes to the act of suicide, and especially my son's case, one act doesn't define the people. We lose police officers and we lose first responders to suicide too, and it's we can never imagine the pain that they're going through to do that. And so hopefully, we can get that laughter out there so that they can come forward with their pain and say, hey, listen, if we can talk about it, let's get it out so that we don't have to do these situations. So we don't have to attend any more funerals.
Yes, we are honored that you're having us. Not many people let us in the door, so we're excited to come down. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes.
Talking about your son. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for his service. And we will see you in a few weeks, I guess. April 27th, I think it is.
A few months.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Bruce to stay on also if he can. Jimmy said he's gonna stay on when we bring our comic on in the next segment.
Yeah.
And
We always love bringing comics on when we have two very serious guests on. The comics love that. They love following the serious guest.
Yeah, but these guys are both cops.
What did you do to me?
Cops like to laugh.
But Bruce is a laugher, I can tell. Are we going to go to break now?
Yeah, let's go to break, and then we'll bring.
All right,
we'll bring
Right
him
after this.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll just have a burger.
How'd you like that cook?
Medium.
Do you have any specials?
Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN Duct Cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education, realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island. MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
And we're back to Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television. And we're bringing out our comic for tonight.
Now
Joe.
we're gonna laugh.
Yeah. Oh, you want to introduce him?
No, all right, here
You do it.
I
Do
will.
it.
This is a young comic,
Young man
making quite a name for himself. There isn't anywhere I go where his name isn't mentioned, and we are so happy we have him here
Rich doesn't go
on
out a
our
lot.
show.
He doesn't go out a lot.
And here he is, Joe Cravella.
Oh, who's that guy?
All right.
Hello, Joe. Thank you for doing the show.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. This,
You're one funny guy. I've been out there. I've seen Joe a few times. I judged the comedy contest. I didn't vote for Joe, but he was good.
Yeah. Of course. How do you not vote for Joe?
I don't know. He's a lovable guy. What's
He's
going
got a
on
lot
with Joe?
going on. Joe, what's going on with you?
It's cool, man. This feels like the Long Island Johnny Carson show. It's like
That's
like
what
a cool
it is.
experience.
It's very
Compliment.
close.
You're at McMahon, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh.
Oh, how does Joe know that show?
Man,
He's a young man.
I have an old soul. I listen
You
to
have an
old
old
school
soul.
music.
Yeah.
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 That's who I am.
So what's
but-
going on now? You dating? What's the story?
Nah, man, it's low pickings with me. I feel like girls, they don't really care about comedians. Like I'll be in school and
Yeah.
the teacher, like professor, whatever, they'll ask. They'll be like what's it called? They'll be like, oh, did anybody do the assignment? If I say no, they'll ask me like why, and I'm like, oh, I do stand up comedy. You know, I'm kind of busy, whatever. And then like nobody in the class will turn around or even like care. It's just like
Nobody cares.
They don't even
No.
look. Oh, Joe.
yeah.
Have you
Embarrassing.
been on the Laughter Saves Lives?
I should tell them that. Yeah, maybe that'll.
Now you have a credit of
Yeah,
this is a big
this is
credit.
what a lot of Long Island
Yeah.
comics shoot for.
And here's where the students all turn around in their seats towards the back of the room.
To turn around. I'm not gonna lie, man. They say the camera adds 10 pounds, but honestly, I don't see it. Only
No.
on Rich. This is
Yeah.
He said only on
thanks.
Rich.
Only-
Wow.
I could use the extra pounds
Joe's
lately.
he's like 6'2" and 130, right?
exactly. Yeah, you nailed. Actually, I think I'm like 6'2", but like, you nailed the weight precisely.
Wow.
Really? Is that what you 130?
It's pretty.
I know. I
impressive,
gave
yeah,
him.
around
What did I
there.
give you? A Laughter Saves Lives shirt, a small.
Yeah, and it was like felt like I was wearing like an extra small bag. I was like walking around my house like this.
Belly shirt.
Yeah, it was. It turned into a pajama shirt real quick, but.
No, it's a house. It wouldn't be a belly shirt.
Why wouldn't it be a belly shirt?
No,
He's
'cause-
tall. He's tall.
Oh,
you
I
know.
got
It
you,
fits
yeah.
slim, but like the
Yeah.
sleeves were up high, so it was like a Lady Gaga outfit. It was like I don't know, it was like the shoulder pads, and I was like forced to walk. My dad.
Would
Did
you-
somebody give you a watch? You have an ex-girlfriend. Give you a watch.
Oh yeah, this is.
Tell us.
No, yeah. So my one of my ex-girlfriends, she got me a watch for my birthday.
Yeah.
But like I'm a skinny dude, so like the watches don't fit around
Right.
my wrist, you know. But
Slides off.
yeah, it's good. I decided I just kept it, use it as a belt. So that's
Oh, that's funny.
just look down to check the time.
Waist size.
Oh, waist size? I think I'm like a 29 or 30.
Oh, that's deep.
Really, that's not
yeah.
that thin.
Yeah.
29, 30. I'm about that.
Yeah.
Like,
My neck is 29.
You didn't
Butch
hear-
said his neck is 29.
Uh, that I believe. That I believe. So what else you got? What else you talk about in your set?
Yeah, definitely my appearance. You know, I'm a skinny dude, so I'm not gonna hide it. I just talk about being young and just like my experiences. You know,
Right.
Well, tell us
Tell
what
us your
you talk about
experience.
some of it. Not that we want to put you on the spot, but we're putting you on the spot. Yes.
like what do you want? Like just like a joke that I do,
Dating.
or-
Do you have
Yeah,
any
we want-
dating?
we want
No,
this
not
funny-
jokes. Were you dating?
Dating?
Am I dating?
Yeah.
No. I'm
No.
not dating. Yeah,
No,
I
you're
don't-
supposed to have like.
It's yes and.
Yes,
Yes,
he's setting
and-
you up for your dating bit.
Yeah, no, I know what he's trying to do, but I.
Yeah, and you're
Like,
like, nah, I'm not
yeah,
dating.
No.
I'm not dating.
no, I-
I don't got a joke on that, Rich. That was the other Joe that you were watching.
Yeah.
That wasn't his set. Rich is
Go ahead.
good.
No, okay, I'll do the bit. You know,
There you
so I was
go.
saying,
Yes.
Yes.
Let's hear the- yes. Okay.
It feels like foreplay. I don't know. It's like so. I took this one girl on a date recently.
Yeah.
It went really well. I just talked to her again. I contacted her mustache bigger than mine. You know. And I go like at first I thought maybe I was being shallow until the waiter came over and then handed her the check. You know. So. But I am a gentleman, though. You know, I brought her back to my place to introduce her to my parents, and my parents really liked the last, especially my dad. My dad's like, Joe, I really like this girl. I think she's the one. She reminds me of Keith Hernandez.
The Mets fan, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm a Mets fan.
And Keith, for the viewers, has a very big
Big mustache. Yes, yes.
You
You
know.
have to be a Met fan.
Yeah,
preface it.
or you've seen like the gold commercials,
Yes. He did that commercial, I think, 25 years ago.
and they still play it.
Still play it.
He's
Still
selling
getting residuals.
coins now.
Yeah.
I like Rich's. I know Rich was like critiquing his like shirt like before he got here. I like it, man.
Thanks.
It's like he
Butch
puts it-
hates it because
It's
it
an
doesn't have
inside
the
joke.
logo.
Butch wants him to wear a Laughter Saves Live shirt. So every week he wears a checkered shirt.
He dresses like a scarecrow
Just,
instead.
and
But
if
it's
Butch
short-
wouldn't mention it for 2 weeks,
I
Richie
get-
would probably wear another shirt.
I get it, but it's short sleeve, and nobody wears short sleeve when it's freezing
I do.
out. They're not. Oh yeah.
I always do. That's all I wear. So, so you're how long have you been doing stand up, by the way?
Like probably like a year and a half now.
Do you have a funny story about stand up? Because I have a bunch. When you started out, the rooms you worked, the little rooms, like some of the diving rooms? Anything funny?
Yeah, so
What do you got?
actually this summer, me and a few of my comedy buddies went to Massachusetts for a gig.
Okay.
And it was
They split $50.
Well, it's not.
No, yeah.
You know that it's never the money.
It was like my first road gig, so we
Nice.
were all excited, man.
Nice.
We were in this crappy hotel,
Right.
and the worst part about it is like, you know, like we were like, all right, at least we have the gig to worry about, whatever. And we get there, and it's like 4 people. And like the lady didn't even know that we were comics. Like she made me put on a wristband. I was like, I'm a comedian. I'm going up. She's like, yeah, she didn't even know it was a show. No, she didn't charge me. But she was like, I was like, I'm a comic on the show. She's like, we're having a show, and I was like scared. I was like, am I in the wrong spot?
We having a comedy show tonight. Oh yeah.
Yes, I knew it was gonna be a brutal one, and exactly.
So you did it for 4 people?
We've been there.
Show must go on. you
We've
know?
been there. Now, here's my question to you. They gave you a hotel room?
No, we had to pay for the hotel room. So it was like me and my comedy buddies. I think we split like
How many rooms did you comedy buddies and you split?
1 room. It was
and was there 2 double beds?
Yeah, it was 1 bed for Fat J because you know he's got.
That's why he's fat. See, because he knows you can't share a bed with him.
He needed both beds,
Right.
but we gave him that 1 bed.
You're so skinny they couldn't just put you on the edge.
Nah, it's uncomfortable. I'm tall though.
You know the little thing that they put out to put your that they put out to put your bag on.
Yeah.
You open that thing
You
up.
open that up. Throw a sheet over.
I kid you not, that place was so bad though that like we brought our bags every time we left. So every time we would leave like the hotel, they thought we were gonna check out, but we were like, no, we just because like the reviews were saying like be aware, like there was like it was like the prison it's like the prison windows.
Wait a second.
Wait
a second. The review said, "Be aware," and you still stay there.
Yeah, you know, you got to do what you got to do. They scammed us when we first got there. They said 1 night we could do it, and then we got there, and then Jay was like talking to people and whatnot, and then right after she goes like, "Oh, you're gonna have to stay like a minimum of 3 nights."
Oh, come on.
So then we ended up getting forced to pay, and then
For 3 nights, what was it? $30 total for 3 nights.
Oh, I wish, man. I took such a loss.
What was the name of the hotel? What kind of hotel was it?
It was called.
I mean, was it a chain?
Nights.
I hope not. I hope not.
Danny's special. What was it?
I went stayed at a Night's Inn, and in the room next to it, no kidding, it was a gang initiation.
No.
Yeah. There were beer bottles hitting in the street, like a nightmare. I was with my wife at the time and kids, and it's like, get that guy out of here. But I was afraid. We didn't leave. We stayed because we were afraid to go out the door until the next day. And I actually slept with the door, like in the movies, that the chair wedged under the handle.
Yeah, sometimes
and I
you
slept
stayed
with
your family at a Night's Inn. What's wrong with you?
It was outside of Sesame Place. It was. I was looking to save money.
Listen, Melissa Ielpi is very funny. She said she wants to know if you were you the little spoon or the big spoon on the bed of 3.
Oh, how funny is that?
I was a little bit of both.
and here's the worst part about it is he said it with a smile.
Yeah.
Nah, because like Jay's a big dude, so his butt crack was out the whole entire night. So I feel like at that point, I felt like I was, you know, might as well just.
Who was the other comic? Can we ask?
Yeah, Dan. It was my buddy Dan. We were.
So
and Dan
slept in the bed with you.
Yeah.
Laraca?
Yeah.
Laraca. Yeah.
And how long was the show?
So I don't even remember how long. I know it was 2 nights. So it was Friday night, which was a decent one, and then Saturday was the 4 people one.
Right.
Oh,
How many was it on Friday?
Friday was probably like 10 people. It still wasn't that good, but I just know that after Saturday, we were all so devastated. We're like, let's just go home.
Now, where was it? At a hotel?
Yeah.
You didn't stay in the hotel. I see.
We did our sets. Some dude at the bar got kicked out for being obnoxious, and then just.
Oh, it was in a bar.
Yeah.
Who booked this?
No, I'm not.
I know. It was me. It was me. I'm sorry. I booked the show. Butch knows who booked it. So, all right, that's a funny story. I did one. You know, I went to a hotel. It was a dive. I went to the show and I made fun of the hotel the first 10 minutes of my set.
Yeah, we didn't even mention it though.
I made fun of the hotel. And I went out and 3 of my tires were slashed on the car.
For real, dude. You know something funny is we were
talking
was
after a set.
We were literally talking to the bouncer, and then the bouncer's like, "Oh yeah, as long as you guys didn't stay at that one hotel at the Bedford, it's the worst one." We're like, "Dude, that's what we're staying at." He was like,
"Wow." All right, Joe, thank you for coming on. I know it's not easy to come on and get some yucks. You're a funny guy. Go see him. Where are you performing next, Joe?
This Friday, I'm going to be at Island Kava and Patchogue.
Island Kava. There's going to be 4 people there. 4 people.
Yeah,
good crowd.
I'm used to it.
Good crowd. Yeah, those gigs that's what makes you. Right, Richie?
Yeah.
Look at Richie. He's funny. He did like a lot of gigs. We did one together, I think, one time.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with our holiday special. Everybody that attends and is on the air gets a free car. Like Opie's, we're giving away free cars.
Wow.
So watch out. Special guests.
Thank you to Bruce. Thank you to Jimmy.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Great
We look
show.
forward to working with both of you.
We'll see you all
Absolutely.
soon.
All right.
Happy holiday season.
Happy holidays. We'll see you next week
Thank
on
you.
Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the tickle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.